Alrighty, we're Sinope Turkey, January 3rd, 1968. I arrived in Istanbul, not Constantinople. I stayed there for a few days at the Army Transit Hotel, the King Hotel, by the way. Private hotel. It was open to Turks, but the U.S. Army had a number of rooms leased there. And we stayed there waiting for transit to different places in the country. I was waiting for a steamer, passenger steamer, to head up the Black Sea to the town of Sinope, which is the town where Diogenes, by the way, the man with the lantern in ancient Greece, searched the world for an honest man. He never found it, but that's where he started from. The several days I was in Istanbul, I really enjoyed it. Me and another MP who was going to the same post as I wandered throughout the town. I was fascinated by the fact that at that time they were not too used to the red light system, and so to back up the red light there were army soldiers on machine gun mounted jeeps or just a tank to back up the civilian cop. Turkey, by the way, used their soldiers in a lot of functions which in this country they would not perform, but it's an effective form of traffic control. Now, I was enjoying myself, and as I mentioned before, I have a knack of hooking up with people who are heroin addicts. So while I was enjoying the sight, my traveling companion was searching out drug buys, which I didn't realize at the time. Only found out about a month later. But then we left Istanbul on a ship around 4 in the evening. The sun was in the background of the Blue Mosque. It was the most picturesque picture I've ever taken in my life. Unfortunately, it was a slide, and therefore I don't have it anymore. We went up the coast it took about 24 hours to get to Sinope. We stopped at different port towns. We never went into the port itself. Small tenders came out from the city. The people would jump with their luggage into the small boats. Well, we got Sinope, and since we were first class passengers, we just had to jump. They took the luggage. They threw the luggage onto the boat. And so around 8 o'clock at night we arrived, and there was a Army sergeant and Army bus. It was a Turkish driver, took us up to the base, and we were checked in. Sinope is a very interesting town. It's an isthmus, on an isthmus. Has very poor road connections. In fact, part of the road to the next major town, which was 70 miles away, which took about 3 hours to drive, by the way, was built by one of the Roman emperors. And not in that great of condition. But I love to take that road because, you know, in Turkey the military was not allowed to drive. We had no weapons. Our MPs could not drive the MP vehicles. They had a Turkish driver. All the work in our billets, and I was billet sergeant again, was done by Turkish personnel. The beds were made by the Turks. The shoes were shined. The clothes were pressed. And so all we had to do was our limited operation. And I think apparently drink a lot of beer and smoke a lot of hash. But it was a safe base. The shepherds could come on it for their crop purposes, but it was very nice, modern. The Turks had a garrison there because in Turkey all the bases were basically Turkish bases. The gates were manned by Turkish MPs and our MPs. The airfield, which we had several miles away, was strictly under Turkish control. But it was a pleasant place. I lost 40 to 50 pounds there. That's how great that place was. Okay, this is going to be the end of this part of the video. I'll go into some more personal details that was in the next video, so I avoid a super long video. I do thank you, and